entrepreneurs, startup capitalists get to lay their dreams before a tough panel of startup experts and financiers. Now, if our panel likes either of the ideas to help them take that scheme to the next level, introduce our entrepreneurs to some of the best business minds around. But there is a catch. They could hate them both and send them packing. Here's the pitch.
I'm Kelly Follis, CEO of RemoteStylist.com. We have an online furniture sourcing platform that allows users to design any space, anywhere, and at any time.
Hi, I'm Derek Fung, CEO of Tunesy, the world's first online marketplace for music experiences.
Hi there, welcome to our show. Now, you've already heard a little bit from our two dreamers. Let's tell you about the people they have to win over today. To my left, Sarah Prevett, CEO of Sprouter. Great to see you again.
Good to see you.
Remind us what Sprouter does.
Sure. So Sprouter is an online Q&A, so startup founders can actually get advice directly from people who have sold and built monstrosities of companies.
Monstrosities?
Monstrosities,
Giant.
that's the word I'm trying on today.
Okay. Prabal Lala is our next panelist. He's founding member of the Maple Leaf Angels. Great to see you again, Prabal.
Same here, Andy.
And remind us what the Maple Leaf Angels are, if you would.
We're a group of 40-odd entrepreneurs who invest in early-stage companies, generally putting in anywhere from $250,000 to $500,000, but it's more than just the money. We like giving back to the community, so it's hopefully opening up our network and helping take that company to the next level.
And now we have the man who I always get to sit at the far end of the panel from me. I'm so frightened of him. No.
As you should be.
Yeah, no. True gentleman, Philip Brown, CEO, Brown's Dining Solutions. Huge provider. You feed thousands of people every day.
I'm trying to build a monstrosity of a food service business, and maybe Sarah can help me. But Brown's is, as I've said before, a great company. We're out acquiring businesses in the middle market, in the contract dining space, and we're growing well. We're looking for those people who developed a business over many decades now looking to exit. You know, it ties into what happens here on the show as well, that if you can't come up with a startup idea, I would recommend any person who wants to get in business, find a space you like and go meet someone who's already got an established business looking to retire and get aligned with them, some mentoring, some financing, because there's a big wave of people, I'm sure as Sarah will tell us, a big wave of people coming that need to exit their businesses they've been in for many, many decades.
That's right, and maybe a new generation of entrepreneurs will take over.
Absolutely, they will for sure.
Prabal, when you hear pitches at Maple Leaf Angels, what do you look for? What's the essential thing?
Probably three things. One, a large growing market. Secondly, a compelling value proposition that's solving a real problem. And thirdly, and most importantly, a passionate entrepreneurial team that's ideally done it before.
You want to see a bit of experience?
Yes.
Sarah, what's the number one thing you don't want to hear in the pitch?
Well, you know, it really sort of undermines your whole pitch when you say you don't understand sort of the revenue forecast or you haven't figured that part out. And so, you know, understanding the financials behind your business and where it can go is really important.
Or at least faking it.
Or at least fake it on the show.
Right, well, let's see how our entrepreneurs do against our panel. Coming up, we're going to meet our first entrepreneur. Just 90 seconds to convince our experts that her online furniture and design platform is worthy of space in their portfolios. We'll be right back.
At American Express, we go above and beyond to make the impossible possible 24/7. We've personally delivered replacement cards, found doctors who speak your language, tracked down lost wedding dresses, turned 3-star into $1 million-star dining. We've even returned a loved one home. Impossible. It's 2 letters too long. American Express. Realize the potential.
Canada's oil sands is energy at work for all Canadians.
Every year, we've been supplying 25 to 45 of those coaches to go to the oil sands. The economic impact is phenomenal at Prévost. All these people, they benefit from it. You see 400 coaches at the beginning of the shift. I was amazed when I saw that for the first time. It's 4,000 kilometers, but no matter what is the distance, there's a very short link between this community, Quebec, and the oil sands.
Let's hear from our first contender. Kelly Follis is CEO of RemoteStylist.com. Welcome to the show, Kelly.
Thank you.
90 seconds, you know the drill.
RemoteStylist.com is an online furniture platform that helps users design a space anytime, anywhere, the way they want. So I'm sure you've all been there. Basically, you're trying to pick furniture, design a space. You go from store to store around town. You've wasted countless hours of time. You then turn to the internet. You start surfing from site to site to site. 5 hours has gone by, you still haven't made it anywhere. So we have an online platform, users can log in from anywhere, that provides them with a free stylist, which is just a new, hip, cool term for interior designer, and then they guide them through the process. So whether it's one couch or they want to redesign their whole space, essentially the stylist guides them through the process from beginning to finish and ends up delivering the items that the user has wanted to their door faster and installs them more quickly than you could sort of buy them from a retail store. And as a result of all the stops that are missed along the way, it's always less than it would be at a retail store.
Fantastic. 1 minute. Maybe we should cut everybody back to a minute. Sarah, go for it.
Well, I guess my question is who you're targeting, because it seems to me that most people would sort of shop mindlessly online and they wouldn't think about hiring an interior designer. And those people who are thinking about hiring an interior designer are maybe at a little higher end of that pay spectrum. So who are you targeting in the market?
So absolutely. Unfortunately, everybody can't afford the fees of an interior designer, but our target market are busy professionals. So namely, corporate bachelors. So whether they haven't been married yet or they've been married and or divorced, they're busy people. They have, they're working 80 to 100 hours a week, and they just want to get the decisions done from wherever they are. So design is very local, and you generally have to sort of be in or around or making appointments in the city you're trying to design the space in. So this works from everywhere. The second one are the sort of busy moms. Again, they're not running a job, they're running a household, which is equally as much work. So those are sort of the people. Their ages generally are 35 to 55, and they're somewhat tech savvy because they are doing this online.
Well, I have to say, the corporate bachelor is just the term, but I can see that as being a great market. However, as you sort of raise the bar and people see what you're doing, how do you protect what you're doing from other people coming in and trying to replicate what you offer?
So the furniture and design industry, unfortunately, is quite backwards. We definitely have a first mover advantage. We've been doing this now for 3 years. That being said, we couldn't quite find the right model, so we actually did a pivot in September and relaunched just this past March. So we're at 3 months now. That being said, there's something certainly about being a thought leader in the space, and we'll do everything in our sort of capacity to protect that. The other thing is the relationships with the manufacturers. So we've put in a very interesting sort of proprietary tech software system. So the manufacturer's biggest problem is that they don't want people selling the same products for less than their retail store is selling it for, simply because it sort of cuts off the arm that feeds them at the same point in time. So we have those relationships for the last 3-4 years.
I love it. I'm a corporate newlywed. I was a corporate bachelor, but so a couple quick questions before we get to the money topic, which is one of my favorites. As I'm on your site, do I get to see my room coming together online as the pieces drop into it?
Yeah, the process is the user initially fills out a design profile, so it takes anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes, and then sends in supporting documents. So it could be photos, it could be a floor plan. People love to just send their listing sheet from their realtor, nice and sort of quick and dirty. That being said, then basically the designer goes through and creates sort of a mood board based on what you've said.
There is one of those television shows now where they show a beautiful, they're dropping the furniture right in, and I forget the name of it, doesn't really matter, but I think that's a fantastic thing. But let's get to the money. How much do you have invested in this? And if we put some money in, how will we ever get our money out?
So to answer your first question, we did a family and friends round of 50 in the beginning, which I was a part of. That was 3 years ago. We figured out the model. We're now looking for 900,000, basically to accelerate the growth, really start focusing. We found the perfect model now, and we just really need to start.
So 50's taking you this far?
Yes.
You're very frugal.
Yes, extremely. We've been bootstrapping like crazy.
As you should be. And so just to finish off, 900K, and what sort of share of the organization, and what do you see in terms of your run rate here to get us out in time?
Yeah, so we're looking at sort of a 3 to 5 year exit. In terms of the sales, we've in the past, for the first 2 years, we did 155,000 year over year. It was fine, not scalable. Since relaunching March 21st, we did 100, and we have 800K sitting on the table right now to close in the next 4 to 6 weeks. So we're looking at about 5 million for this coming 2012, and then up
in
to
sales.
20. Yeah. And
Fantastic.
then up to 20.
So what did you do on March 21st? There's a fundamental pivot there in terms of your growth strategy.
We literally figured out sort of the model that would work for everybody. We did 8 pilot programs over the last 4 years trying to figure out what the designers wanted, what the consumers wanted, manufacturers wanted, etc. And it was just taking it apart and putting it back together that really sort of got it going, and more branding that was more appropriate.
And Kelly, just to make it clear, you make your money on selling the furnishings and the,
Right.
and the stuff like that.
Yeah, the stylist or interior designer, for using older terms, is completely free based on the volume of the users using the site. So we have the stylists; they're all in-house. It's a very high-end design experience, but because we make our money on the sale of the furniture, you know, we can provide that to the user for free.
Good stuff. We're out of time. Kelly, we'll have you back later in the show for the big decision. Thank you very much indeed. Kelly Follis of RemoteStylist.com. Hang on there for a second, please. Coming up after the break, Derek Fung will take the stage and get his shot at convincing our capitalists that his crowdsourced music platform is worth hearing about. BNN's The Pitch continues right after this.
Many years ago, Man Investments began designing financial products that see the market from a different perspective. Since then, it's grown through both the good times and the tough ones, accessing a broad range of alternative investment solutions around the whole world. With Man Investments, what will you achieve? Man Investments, a world-leading alternative investments provider.
Active traders demand performance, access, and information to take advantage of fast-moving opportunities. Our powerful Scotia iTrade Flight Desk platform gives you control over your market tracking and trading environment. This integrated solution supports equity and options trading. It's easy to use and fully customizable with streaming, real-time data and news, advanced charting, and much more. Technical charting helps investors customize their charts to include moving averages, Bollinger Bands, Fibonacci's, MACD, and more. It's designed with the active trader in mind. Scotia iTrade offers tools, education, and services to optimize your online investing experience, along with low fees and commissions. To learn more, visit scotiaitrade.com or a Scotiabank branch today.
Liquidity continues to fuel the market.
This stock is a short. It's going down.
Dow 13,000, NASDAQ 3,000, they're just numbers.
Where do you stand? Join the debate on Market Sense. Weekdays, 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific.
Our second entrepreneur is Derek Fung. He's CEO of Tunesy.com. 90 seconds, take it away.
Thank you very much. Hi guys, my name is Derek, and I left my Bay Street career to launch Tunesy, a music startup which aims to rethink the recorded music industry. So people don't buy music anymore. Over the last decade, music sales have fallen more than 50%. Clearly, the old model is broken, and Tunesy is a new model for music. So on Tunesy, we believe that fans no longer want to buy music, but are much more interested in engaging experiences like live concerts, meet and greets, and custom merchandise with their favorite musicians. So you can think of Tunesy as the world's first marketplace for music experiences. And here's how it works. We have an innovative patent-pending virtual currency called Notes. Fans can earn notes by listening and sharing music. And fans, like a customer loyalty program, can exchange their notes for cool swag and experiences. And if they want access to premium swag and experiences, they have to buy notes. Fans can also tip their favorite musicians with the notes. Musicians, in turn, can exchange notes for discounted products, services, and even cash through a revenue sharing program. We launched the company in January. In March, we placed first at the National Business and Technology Conference. We raised a round of seed financing from a public Canadian company, Entertainment Media. We currently are testing in private beta with over 1,000 users. We have partnerships lined up with some of YouTube's biggest musicians with over 2 million subscribers. And we are here today looking to raise $500,000 to help grow the team and expand marketing. Thank you.
Good stuff, Sarah.
Well, it seems to me that most of this model relies on the artists being involved and actually deciding to give back. And so how are you moving across sort of acquisition on that front?
Yeah, so we actually have a dedicated musician partnership team. And what we do is we're built on the YouTube platform. We target independent musicians who aren't signed to major record labels. So their pain point is that they currently monetize by selling music, but people don't want to buy music. So they rely on these cool, engaging experiences. And you've seen through sites like Kickstarter, they can raise money from going to their fans. So we built our company around that concept. We literally contact a lot of these musicians on YouTube. Some of them are based in LA, New York. And we build win-win partnerships with them. So, for example, we have a partnership with a musician called David Choi. He's got about 1 million subscribers on YouTube. He's the 14th most subscribed to musician on YouTube. We're helping him push his concert in Toronto. In exchange, he's offering a virtual concert through our platform where his fans can get access only through our platform. So with 1 million subscribers, if only 5% of his fan base sign up, that's 50,000 users just like that. So we have a couple of these big partnerships. We call them whales, just big musicians that we think can really drive traffic to the site.
Derek, I like the Notes e-monetary concept. That's neat. It sort of reminds me of Second Life and Linden's. But one of the things, just building on Sarah's point in terms of building demand, I believe you've got a competitor called SoundCloud who raised about $50 million in January, but that was based on having 11 million subscribers in place. How do you get those subs to your musicians?
Yeah, so SoundCloud is more of a audio distribution platform, like they're an API. What makes us different is this note system. So we're actually sharing revenue with musicians. What we're saying is, okay, you can go on YouTube, you can monetize, you can sell your music on iTunes, but if you offer your fans cool, engaging experiences on our site, you can share in the revenue. So I think that's very, it's a big incentive for musicians. A lot of them are starving for resources, for money. So that's a big part of it. And really creating a niche platform. SoundCloud and YouTube, huge platforms. It's hard to discover new emerging talent. By creating a niche community, it's going to be easier for the up-and-coming musicians to get exposure. So I think those are kind of our mechanisms to get more users and sell to some of these musicians.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, just a second question about the money. You mentioned that you raised funds in January, and we're sitting right now in June.
Yeah.
What have you done with those funds to be coming back right now?
We think we've done quite a lot with the amount of money. We haven't disclosed how much we raised, but it's a six-figure amount. We've managed to, we have 10 people right now working at our company. We have built some major partnerships with big YouTube musicians. We've pitched at numerous competitions and have come out pretty successfully. So I think a lot of people really buy into the vision because we've seen, ever since Napster, people don't really want to buy music. And we think the future is in engagement between musician and fan. So we are raising money now because we want money in the bank later this year. And we'd rather do it now than when it's too late. And that's why we're here today.
Who's your target market?
Young. Actually, we've been going to a lot of concerts, and we found that the young female demographic, 12 to 24-year-old, is our target demographic. So they're good on social media. We're really leveraging what we call the Justin Bieber effect.
So tell me how you're going to make money with your company.
Yeah, so Notes, let's say you're a fan, and your favorite musician is hosting a virtual concert tonight. You can earn Notes for free on Tunesy. But if the concert's tonight, you won't have enough time to do so. So what we're looking to do is price Notes at very low price points. $1, $2, $3, $5. And really, through kind of treating that time urgency, sell Notes to fans. Okay. So instead of buying their music, which, especially the young demographic, young generation, they're growing up now not buying music.
I'm going to move in here. How many Notes have you sold so far?
We're currently in private. So we haven't gone public.
Okay.
So we've been, getting feedback from users, we're getting feedback from musicians, but a lot of musicians are offering similar experiences through sites like Kickstarter. But on Kickstarter, they're raising money specifically for an album.
What's your current burn rate per month?
About $8 grand.
8,000.
Yeah.
Okay. And
so it's very low.
One last question: how much money have you sunk into this so far?
So personally, between myself and my co-founder, we've personally sunk in about $50K.
Okay.
Gonna leave it there. Thanks very much, Eric.
Thank you.
That is the pitch for Tunesy.com. We know what our panelists are curious about, but right after this, it's decision time. Both of our entrepreneurs will stand before our experts, ready to hear which business idea won the judges over. We'll be right back.
At American Express, we go above and beyond to make the impossible possible 24/7. We've personally delivered replacement cards, found doctors who speak your language, tracked down lost wedding dresses, turned 3-star into 1 million-star dining. We've even returned a loved one home. Impossible. It's 2 letters too long. American Express. Realize the potential.
Occupy Wall Street. Get an edge by doing your research and trading with Interactive Brokers. Pay lower commissions. Get better stock loan rates. Lower margin rates. Better executions. Transparent bond markets. More products at lower trading costs. Interactive Brokers. Join the 1%.
Before I switched my team to Rogers, getting through to our communications provider wasn't easy.
Your call is important to us. Your estimated wait time is 15 minutes.
Only Rogers has Live Agent, so I can speak to a small business specialist right away. By phone, in store, or online.
Hi, this is Dave, your Rogers Small Business Specialist.
Get back to business faster with Rogers Live Agent. Switch today and stay connected with Rogers Small Business Share Plan.
Closed captioning is brought to you in part by Ed Sheeran, an exceptional new talent with a phenomenal album Plus featuring the A-Team. Available everywhere now.
Our panelists heard two very different business pitches, and here's a recap. Our first entrepreneur, Kelly Follis, CEO of RemoteStylist.com.
RemoteStylist.com is an online furniture platform that helps users design a space anytime, anywhere, the way they want.
And then we heard from Derek Fung, CEO of Tunesy.com.
Clearly, the old model is broken, and Tunesy is a new model for music. So on Tunesy, we believe that fans no longer want to buy music, but are much more interested in engaging experiences.
Sarah, can I start with you? Would you put money into Remote Stylist?
Well, I'm still struggling to understand who you're competing with. I mean, it seems to me that Pottery Barn and some of these sort of, more massive, more global, bigger brands may be able to do the same thing. So, not at this time.
You're just wary. You think that just huge players could do this, could follow this trick?
Yeah, until you've sort of established yourself, you have that kind of traction, I'd be a little bit afraid of who else could come downstream and play in this space.
Prabal.
Well, I guess two questions to be answered. First, one, how much are you willing to give up of your company for the $900,000? Because I think Philip asked the question. I don't know that we got the full answer. Second one was, I really need to understand what you did in that pivot, because there's something really unique, but I need to understand what that pivot was before saying. So the pivot being, for 2 years, she was doing about $150,000 in top-line revenue, and in the last 2 months, she's done $200,000, and it's going to go to $5 million. So I'd like to know what changed.
Okay, do you want to take a crack at that, Kelly? Can you answer any of that?
Sure. I mean, mostly it's a marketing pivot. So it was how we were presenting the company. We tried to do things in the past, such as charge for the design services. So that was sort of our first model. We based it on, packaging a whole room as sort of a flat fee, then charged, by the hour. We did all those sort of different pivots. And I think in the end, it's the free designer that has really sort of sealed the deal.
I thought your pitch was awesome, and I like the concept generally as a concept. My first career was in the retail furniture business, so I'm kind of tainted. I just hate retail and I hate furniture, but I think you're onto something. I would be curious to hear a little bit more about it. You might be able to pivot me, but not for now.
Prabal, are you sold?
I'd have to say I'd want to take a meeting and hear a little bit more.
Okay.
Sitting on the fence.
Yeah, okay.
Declaring the fence.
Yes.
Sarah, would you put money into Tunesy?
So I think the idea of patronage in music is an interesting one, and it's certainly, I mean, it's a lasting industry, right? Music has been around since the days of Napster and even before that, but that whole online community. I mean, I would like to see who you're able to bring onto that platform and, the kind of experiences. I mean, for example, if you could provide me an intimate, evening with Metric or something like that, I'm all aboard. But I love the idea, and I think it's going somewhere.
Prabal.
I'd like to see a lot more traction beyond the 1,000 sort of internal customers first, and also need to understand what sort of a lift you're looking for with respect to valuation from your first round in January versus money going in now.
Okay. So you're curious?
Definitely curious, but I would want to know how he's going to build his audience.
Okay. Are you giving them the green light, Sarah?
Not at this point.
Oh, okay. Philip, are you going to be the nice guy for once?
Does that make me a bad guy?
You jump from the stock market from one perilous industry into the most perilous industry, coupled with a market that would drive me crazy, women 12 to 24. It's not for me, and it's way too early in my impression. If you make a go of this, I'll tell you, I'll wear the green tie next time, but good luck with it.
Thank you.
Well, Kelly, I think you got 2 red lights, but an amber light. Any reaction?
Thrilled. I mean, it's an industry we're changing. We're disrupting the furniture industry. I mean, to Sarah's point, I think absolutely they could come in. I think the thing about the Pottery Barns and that sort of thing is Pottery Barn has one specific look, and at the end of the day, people are not, you know, they want to mix and match their furniture, so they want to take Grandpa's chest and, you know, whatever was handed down from the other line of the family and mix it with some new and some old. So it's something that they would really have to diversify their line and start partnering up, but they are a great exit strategy for us. So, you know, that's something that's there on the table.
And you say that men, though, time-pressed men are your classic customer?
They're, you know, and they're the most fun to deal with. They listen, and they just, they really enjoy the process. So it's the remote aspect.
You're finding women customers don't listen? I thought women were great listeners.
No, I think they're just more fussy about what they're deciding.
And so, Jen, and age group? Can you give us an age group?
Our age group is sort of 35 to 55. They've sort of gone through the first sort of buying process in their first home, and they're generally coming in a transition when they're sort of trying to merge the old house with the new house, and that's where the ball gets dropped.
Derek, the panel were cautious on you. Any reaction?
I mean, it's still very early. I agree, we're in private beta, but I think that we're definitely onto something. I wouldn't have left my Bay Street job if I didn't think this idea would work. So I think now is a great time for the music industry for a new business model, because people don't want to buy music. So what do they want to buy? So I think we're definitely onto something, but would definitely love to continue the conversation sometime down the road.
Depends when you left the Bay Street job.
Sorry?
It depends when you left the Bay Street job.
I left in December.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I left in December.
So, and generally, what, smaller bands, though? We're startup bands is what
independent musicians who aren't tied to major record labels, so they have the flexibility to work with a platform like ours. So a lot of musicians we find are choosing not to go with the record labels. Because music sales are falling, record labels are trying to find new ways to make money off of musicians, so they've created these 360 deals where they take revenue from every single stream. And musicians don't like it. They want to stay independent, and we are their platform to springboard their career.
Because as a musician, you typically only make money from performing, I think, isn't it?
Well, I mean, music sales, performing, merchandise, but now that music sales has kind of gone down the drain, we think that there's a lot of opportunity in the other spaces, and that's what our business is based off of.
Well, thanks very much. And what's your next big milestone at Tunesy?
We're launching publicly in August, so definitely, if you guys are interested, check it out. We might have a little launch party.
We're there.
You guys are invited.
You guys are invited. Before we go, Kelly, what's next for RemoteStylist.com? A big thing?
Really starting to market. We really haven't done that to any great extent thus far, so you'll be hearing about us, hopefully left, right, and center.
Thanks very much indeed for joining us today, guys. Well, there, you heard about it first, RemoteStylist.com and Tunesy. Thanks very much to our panel.
Thank you, Andy.
Philip, Proball, and Sarah. Great to see you again. Veteran judges. I think our three best panelists.
We like to think so.
I hope none of the other panelists are watching anyway. Thank you at home very much for watching our show. Get your business idea into the pitch at bnn.ca and come in front of our panel. We'll be back at the same time next week.